Hi Gemini, this is your monthly reading for the month of May for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and this is not going to resonate for every single Gemini out there. Alright, you guys. Let's see, what are my Geminis up to? We have the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Magician, the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Coins, the Hierophant, the Queen of Swords, and then at the bottom of the deck we have the Nine of Coins. Okay. So, Gemini. I feel like for the month of May, some of you guys are... This is something that I'm really picking up here. You are dealing with another person. I'm getting a sense of conflict here where both of you guys are in your feelings, but you're in your own feelings. So what I mean by this is I feel like you're both, whoever you're arguing with here, Gemini, it's like you're not seeing this person's feelings or hearing them out, and they're not seeing your feelings or hearing you out. So there's this huge disconnect from the two of you. And that's another reason why things are not working out, is because you two are kind of almost on two different wavelengths, so it's just not coming together. I'm getting that one of you could be kind of withholding, not talking as much as the other person. But what I'm kind of getting is, and this is something that's pretty interesting, because it's like this woman's crying. And I feel like for some of you guys, maybe some of my Geminis know a relationship is coming to an end. So perhaps you're just trying to get all of your ducks in a row. Because I feel like this is a commitment that's getting broken. And it looks like by this Queen of Swords, like somebody's going to cut off this commitment and be single. Whether that's somebody breaking up with you or you breaking up with another. Or just, it could be even like a business contract or a family member that you have to cut off in some way. Or break some kind of a promise. For some of you, that's just what I'm getting. It's just like there's something that's being severed here. And it's going to leave one of you guys being, like, it's going to leave both of you feeling free, or at least one of you feeling more free. I'm kind of getting that there has been a lot of toxic people around, and especially around you, Gemini, which maybe you are holding on to those toxic people. People that really weren't serving you. But it's like they maybe were from your childhood or from your past in some way. But that's not a justification for why you allow certain people to affect you. It's like you make excuses for people like your family members, or making excuses for people to why they could continue to hurt you, or not take your feelings into account. It's like maybe growing up as a child, you've always seen your parents fight. Maybe there was always conflict in your foundation at a young age, to where it's caused some of you guys, and I'm getting this as well, Gemini, that a lot of you guys maybe are not talking as much. Maybe you're more withdrawn, because I keep getting this feeling that a lot of you guys are too afraid to speak up or speak what you truly want. But that's what's kind of hindering you guys from really getting what it is that you desire, what it is that you really want. Which is whatever this Ten of Cups is. You want some kind of an emotional fulfillment, but I keep getting the sense that you keep looking for other people to validate that. And maybe you're afraid to speak up and be truthful to what it is that you really want, because you're afraid that people will abandon you or leave you. But that's what's really stopping you from really achieving what it is that you want, is because you're not speaking up. So how can people know what it is that you really want if you can't illuminate that for others? If you can't be honest with, okay, this is what I want and this is what I'm expecting. It's like setting standards before coming across people, like when you first get into a relationship or when you first get into a contract. It's like understanding where both parties are coming from. Let's get some clarifiers, because I feel like for some of you guys, I'm getting that this person does not take account your feelings. And I feel like as well that you have a hard time really, because maybe you say to people, these are my boundaries, or you tell people your boundaries, but people step all over them. I feel like it's because you're not energetically having those boundaries. All you're doing is just speaking it. So I feel like some of my Geminis, you could have like more flimsier boundaries where you cave into people and you allow people to take advantage of you. Because I'm getting that initially you expect people to give back to you what you give without really even needing to initiate it. And it's because there's a part of you that feels like you're unworthy of asking for what it is that you really want up front. And that's what's hindering you, is that self-esteem and feeling like you are limited in your options. And that's what's causing you guys a lot of unnecessary burdens and pain. It's because you feel like you have to limit those options. It's like you almost want people to love you or like you, so much so that people aren't doing that for you. Because I feel like you're dealing with somebody who could have continuously lied or just said things that you wanted to hear. You listened to this person's actions, but that's just what I'm getting. That's just it. It was just actions. I mean, words. You didn't listen to you listened to what they were saying, but you were not paying attention to their actions, is what I meant to say. And that's what kept you stuck mentally, because this person would just spoon feed you these compliments or these lies. Because I'm getting that this person, their intentions was more or less a selfish need. This person didn't lay out everything on the table. They didn't show you their full cards. I'm getting as well as this person could have been argumentative and very combative. Really like to try and one up, like showmanship in a way. This person's emotionally immature. They get triggered easily. They get frustrated easily. And I feel like this person, they're trying to build up their foundation and their pentacles. They also have a motive. Well, for you, Gemini, you might want more of an emotional fulfillment. This person wants more of a materialistic fulfillment. Because I feel like you got caught up emotionally in this. And you felt like you needed to defend this. So for maybe at some point in time here, Gemini, you could have defended this person, like I kept sensing, coming up with excuses for them, trying to stick around, trying to fight for something that, in the end of the day, you sometimes question yourself, was it really worth putting in that effort to fight for it? Because with that 8 of coins, I feel like you were working with this person towards building an actual strong foundation. But in the end, it was like a part of you knows deep down inside that you might need to walk away from this. Because it's almost like you're aware that this person isn't as emotionally invested as you would have liked. This person's, like I said, all talk and no show. And you've questioned this commitment. Yeah, you question the stability of this. Because I feel like you're still on this journey with them. But I'm getting that it's like, for some of you guys, you haven't really... It feels like that page, it's like the foundation of this relationship really wasn't fully or properly built. It's still in its like early phases even, perhaps. But there's a sense of immaturity on both ends. But specifically, I'm getting that this person that was more all talk and no show, they were trying to get the most out of this. I'm also kind of getting that this person would try and break down your self-esteem as well, to keep you almost like, in a sense, like complacent. Like this person would just maybe even play mind games with you. Yeah, it feels like there's been always this conflict. And it's weird is because it almost feels like this person's just always, maybe this person could have even tried to look down on you, but I'm really getting it's more like this individual always feels like they need to one-up you. Like they have to beat you down with specific statements about yourself or about them. Like they always try and like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like for some of you guys, I just get that this person tries to put you down intellectually, or they try to put you down in some way where it's corroding your self-worth, kind of. Like this person's trying to break you down because it's almost like it's building them up and it makes them feel like, okay, good, Gemini's not going anywhere because I can constantly bring up stuff that's emotionally triggering my Geminis, and then I now control Gemini, because whoever can trigger somebody emotionally is the one that's more on top. You know what I mean? It's like a game, and this person's purposely trying to press your buttons. But it's like at the same time, you feel very alone in this connection. You don't really feel seen. You don't really feel heard. And it's almost this sense of a loss of joy or a loss of contentment. Like you're just, a part of you guys are kind of questioning kind of what's the point of this connection anymore. Because I think that for some of you guys, you could still be in this connection. And this is what's going on in your mind right now, is like debating on, is this person even worth it? Are they too toxic? And some of you guys have already broken up or has been broken up with, and now experiencing just the after effect of just really looking back and contemplating this. I feel like for a lot of you guys, by looking back, a lot of you could see the red flags, and maybe you're beating yourself up over it because you feel like you should have known that this was going to happen. But at the same time, it's like you can't beat yourself up over that, because I feel like a lot of you guys, you just kind of got caught up in this person's dialogue, their story. Oftentimes people can paint an image and create illusions around certain things that we just get mesmerized in it. And I feel like for some of you guys got mesmerized by this person's words or by the way that they probably were at the beginning. But I'm just getting that towards the end, it was becoming more and more unbearable to stay in this connection. Or to even really trust this person. So let's get the last cards here. Okay, these are a lot of cards, but I feel like I need to use them. So we also have here your heart chakra. So I feel like, again, this connection, you could have felt a sense of betrayal. I'm also just really getting a major sense of grief, needing to grieve over this, because for some of you guys, not only do you need to kind of grieve this idea that you have or the life that you wanted with this person, but it's also just having to grieve the people that we thought they were, the people that we knew them to be. It's kind of a complex thing, but we need to allow ourselves to not close up, not to close our hearts to other people, because not everybody is going to be the way that they are. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, this situation has caused a lot of you to really close off a little bit of your heart chakra, because I think that this person really did hurt you. And I think that for some of you guys, especially like when we have here that insight, understanding, awakening, awareness, self-evaluation, maybe while you were dealing with this person, and even maybe up to now, some of you guys maybe are blocking your third eye from really understanding this situation. I feel like for some of you guys, you're still in the state of denial, Gemini, over the situation, because if you don't understand, sometimes confusion is just a state of denial. When you're confused about somebody's motives, you're in denial about that person's motives. And sometimes we just don't connect those dots until we really have to work through it, like by layer. Some people choose to completely avoid even looking at it all together. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's this sense of denial of what it was that this person came into, why this person might have done what they done. I think deep down inside, a lot of you guys know why. You're aware of why. But it's just hard to have to admit to yourself that you allowed somebody to take advantage. And that's something that I'm getting to, is it's like you're angry with yourself. You're heartbroken because in a way, it's almost like you knew that you allowed that in your space, that you allowed that in your environment. And I think that for a lot of you guys, it's having to come to terms with accepting yourself and knowing that, everybody makes mistakes, but we have to move on with our lives. But I'm also getting that with this connection, the universal oneness, love, interconnection, and support. You never felt supported by this person. You never truly felt that true connection. And I think that for some of my Geminis growing up, maybe, with your family and the people that you've been always around since childhood, maybe you've never truly felt that connection. And so I think a lot of you guys might feel like, is Earth even really your home? Because you feel so disconnected from the world outside of you, or you feel so disconnected from being seen by others that you almost like this, it creates a wall, and that wall is built up in that heart chakra. And so that's really what I'm getting here, is a lot of you guys attract unavailable people. You attract people that have motives, agendas, because you have this wall up inside of you that is basically giving off the vibration of come and take advantage of me because I'm wounded, or come into my space and my awareness so I can work through this, you know? It's because sometimes to other people, it's interesting because there's always a villain in somebody's story, but in that villain story, they could be the hero. So I feel like for some of you guys, it's like maybe you could accuse somebody of being one way, but in somebody else's story, you're also a villain. So it's like nobody is right and nobody is wrong. It's just perspectives that we hold. And so I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's just changing and coming to that awareness of like, what perspective are you holding about yourself and what perspectives are you holding about others? We also have here sexuality, openness, sharing, beauty, and honor. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you know, your sexuality is more than just going and having it with another partner or doing, you know, what we basically think of as your sexuality. A lot of you guys need to learn to tap into that creative energy, that flow inside yourself to help you kind of gain more insight and awareness. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, now's a good time to learn to be more playful, to be more open with yourself, and just to do things that are good for you. And what I'm really getting to is in order for you guys to really get back what it is that you desire or deserve, you have to first make sure that you fill up your cup first. You have to make sure that you are fully whole within yourself. And then you can be able to share it with other people, and it wouldn't breed resentment or frustration or anything like that, because you'll feel so fulfilled in yourself that you're not going to feel that sense of lack. And so that's kind of what I'm getting here, is not needing somebody's validation or approval. And then we have the mind, openness, flexibility, imagination, and learning. So some of you guys are needing to learn to become more open. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's using your imagination to get out of situations, to get out of your own headspace at times. I feel like you guys get caught up in your mind and you can go over something 1,000 times, but it's not going to change that outcome, or worrying about something that may or may not happen. And that's something that I'm also getting is kind of causing you to block that third eye. It's not trusting your own self, not trusting your own compass, your own guidance, always second guessing yourself, maybe going to other people, asking for their opinions. Stop doing that, because I feel like if you don't, it's like going out, it's like it's not bad to go ask people for their opinions, but ask people that you want to be, that you want to trade places with. Because I feel like for some of my Geminis, you might be going to your friends or family members and their relationships are terrible. And then you go to them for relationship advice. Why would you do that? Because clearly they don't have good advice if their relationships are in a shamble as well. So just be conscious of who you're asking for others' opinions. Especially this month. We also got gut instincts, intuition, knowing, sensing, and trust. And exactly, it's like you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your gut instinct. And that is something that I think has been causing a lot of you guys to kind of, again, second guess yourself. Always be wondering, like going into a state of denial because you are in a state of, well, I made a mistake in the past and I keep holding myself to that mistake. So how do I know I'm not going to make another mistake? You know, so you start questioning yourself, you start going back and forth in your mind, and then eventually it just starts to wear and tear on you, because then you're going to start making wrong decisions because you're not listening to yourself to begin with. And you just have to sometimes trust that even if you end up making the wrong decision, that you're going to be able to bounce back from it, that you're going to be able to actually learn from it. It's one thing to hold on and be afraid to let go of that situation because you're afraid that you're going to repeat it, or because you're afraid you didn't learn the lesson. And then there's another way where you can sit there and objectively look at the situation, be honest with yourself, grieve it, mourn it, go through the whole stages, and realizing, okay, now I've understand why this happened to me. I'm going to take that as a lesson and I can move past it. I don't have to necessarily forget about it, but I'm not going to be consumed by it. I'm not going to allow it to take over my mind, you know? And that's kind of something that a lot of people, they get caught up in it, or they just can't forgive themselves because they feel like they could have caused an issue, or they could have changed it. It's just that, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Sometimes you just don't see it until it's too late, but just learning from it and moving past it is all you can really do for yourself. We also have here self-esteem, confidence, self-love, self-worth, and pride. And of course, it's in that reverse. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like this person was beating down your self-esteem a bit. And a lot of you guys are having to learn to build yourself back up again, taking better care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, you know, saying no to people when you really feel like you need that space or that time, you know, being able to be a little bit more selfish, taking better care of yourself, making sure that you're taken care of first before helping another, so that you actually, because if you feel drained and then you try and help somebody else, it starts to become an obligation, and people can sense that energy, and then it starts to become uncomfortable. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's just, you need to know how to trust your intuition and trust that you know what's best for you. So just start doing what's better for you, Gemini, especially for the month of May. Really take time to start nurturing yourself and taking better care of yourself, and just give yourself that time to really process what's happening, and things will start to shift and change in your awareness the more you allow yourself to be more vulnerable with yourself, you know, and take that time out for yourself. So that's what I have for my Geminis for the month of May. Hopefully this resonates for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.